All right, everyone, welcome to tonight's training. So good to have you, so good to be back. As many of you know, I just got back from a 3-week trip out to Asia to expand our Youngevity, my Youngevity business and our company out in many countries. I'll give you a little bit of a report on that, and then we're going to dive right into tonight's training. So I had the opportunity to go out to visit Hong Kong and then Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, and then ended up in Taiwan, where we had our convention for one of our new acquisitions called Bella Vita. And what I wanted to do, rather than going into too much of the details of that trip, I really wanted to share some of the background tonight because it fits in with tonight's theme. And hopefully you can see the screen, by the way. I've got my PowerPoint here. Tonight's is our 3rd week. We've got an 8-week training class. So this is week number 3. And what we're doing, just as a reminder, is each week we're breaking down one feature or aspect of the GPS system. GPS stands for Global Prospecting System. So our first couple of weeks we went through and talked about the contact manager and how the system can help us do some basic follow-up. Week number 2, we talked about the purpose of the 10 landing pages that we created for subscribers for the system. And tonight's webinar is going to be on how to drive traffic to your website. How do you find new leads, new prospects, new customers, and so forth. So we're going to keep this to 30 minutes, I promise. We have a lot to cover. And I would say out of all 8 weeks, tonight's training is one of the most important of all of them, because this is the foundation of our business, right? Is generating new blood and new contacts so that we never are in a position where we run out of people to talk with and to share our opportunity and to share our products. So tonight we're going to cover how to drive traffic to our landing pages. We're going to talk about a few organic ways. So I'm going to be doing a lot of information tonight, okay? It's so important to, anytime we do these trainings, is rather than trying to soak up everything, and by the way, these are always recorded, so you can go back and listen to them over and over again. But it's so important to always just take what I call a couple nuggets, right? We might go over a certain topic for 30 minutes, and I want you to be able to walk away with 1 or 2, maybe 3 ideas at the very most that you can implement that are simple and easy to do, okay? We're building a foundation here, and week after week, month after month, year after year, just like with the other aspects of this business, we're building a foundation, and each as time goes on, we become a little bit more advanced and a little bit more skilled in those areas. Okay, so I'm going to go over a lot tonight. It'll be for a brand new person, but also maybe someone that's had some experience in some online marketing. We're going to go over those organic ways, which is face-to-face, business cards, and then e-signatures, and I'll be explaining all those in detail. We're going to focus quite a bit on social media channels because that's such a tremendous vehicle, if you will, to take us from point A to point B. I love it because most of the things that we can do on there are free. We don't have to necessarily do pay advertisements, although you certainly can do that. I really want to make sure people that are using the global prospecting system understand that there are many ways that you can have incredible success just by being a subscriber, and that you don't have to necessarily do anything else that would cost additional funds. In fact, if anything, this system helps take many resources that are already out there on the internet and combines them into one tool to save you money. And then in addition to that, gives you a lot of customized marketing material, digital tools, resources, video libraries, etc. that you just can't find elsewhere. Okay? And then we're going to end with talking about some external traffic sources. So things outside of social media that you can do to drive traffic to your business. Let's first remember the purpose of an online funnel and landing pages. Okay, so I want you in your mind to picture this, or maybe I'll put it up here on the screen before we do the recorded session. Picture an online funnel, right? This sales funnel that's very big at the top and then gets more and more narrow as it gets closer to the bottom. So our job, let me first say my job, creating this system is to provide you this digital technology, this state-of-the-art vehicle. And what your role is as a subscriber and as a Youngevity distributor is you provide the drivers. Your job is to get people in the front door, right? Just like it would be on an opportunity night. If you're doing, having an opportunity presentation, your job is to get people there in front of the presenter so that the system, whether that's a person, whether that's a PowerPoint, whether that's something online, can then take those resources and in a professional way provide some level of education, whether it be the products or the opportunity to your customers. Okay, so that's a very, very important part of this system. Okay, this is not a magic bullet that you just subscribe and all of a sudden leads come in and fall in from the sky. Okay, there's things that you have to do that I would say are very simple, but if you'll do them in a very consistent way, even if you had, 10 minutes a day, or maybe you set aside 2 or 3 days a week that you kind of help to drive the system. Whatever it is, the important thing is to be consistent at doing that. Okay? So the online funnel's purpose is to attract the masses to you. When we're marketing face-to-face or in a more organic way, we are in your mind, I want you to kind of picture this fishing rod that you've got. And when you're talking one-on-one, you're casting this fishing rod out in hopes of catching a fish, right? You've got some kind of bait and you're catching a fish. And you're attracting them to you by something that you're offering of value. In this situation, it may be a bait or something like that. So again, our role is to always find leads. But a big part of this system is to have a resource that allows leads to find you. Isn't that kind of a dream part of this business? Isn't that what we're trying to hopefully eventually get to the point where we've got so many leads, so many prospects, new customers, new distributors coming to us wanting information. So the organic way of face-to-face will never, ever go away. That's a dynamic way to talk to people and to grow your business. But this system is certainly going to allow you to attract the masses, okay, by doing small and simple things and allow people in this online world, in this global world, to find you, okay? So again, I'm going to share a lot of ideas tonight, and what I would encourage you to do is just to take 1 or 2 of those to implement them this week. The goal in life, the goal of our training sessions, the goal of your business, I hope, is to make progress. There will be weeks or months where you feel like you're making great progress and it's going really fast. There might be some weeks or months where it feels like it's going a little bit slower. The important thing is that we're doing things that are proven, that work, and that we're making progress towards a particular goal. Before I dive into the ideas here, let me just share why I would even encourage you to listen tonight. Okay. Think about this. You might be one of those that loves technology and has been using social media in your business and it's been working really well. Fabulous. Outstanding. Great. Glad to have you here. But there might be some on the call who are listening to this recording who this is very new to them, trying to grow things online and what to post on Facebook and how to post it and how to engage people and what to do and what not to do. That can be very new to some people. But I want to tell you this. Think of this statistic, that half of the world's population is under 30 years old. Isn't that incredible? Half of the world's population is under 30. So I don't care if you're 30 or if you're 60. I do care that you're willing to learn something new, that you're willing to identify that if you will learn a little bit of technology and involve the internet, involve social media, and involve this global prospecting system into your business and learn it, I promise you can have incredible, incredible results. We've grown our team in the last 4 years from obviously 1 distributor to now over 30,000 distributors. We've gone from $100 in sales in a month to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to 250,000 to 500,000 to almost $250,000 in monthly sales. So I'm telling you that not to brag, because I promise you I play just a very small part in all that. My team gets the credit. But this online system has definitely been a foundation for a lot of that success. Okay, let's dive in, shall we? This is the back office. These are the 4 tabs that you're going to use primarily. There's a My Contacts, there's a Generate Prospects, there's a Sales Tools, and then there's a Training tab. This one that you see right now is the Generate Prospects tab. Okay, so once you click on that, you're going to see 10 landing pages that we've created for you. And I'm not going to go into that in great detail because I'm going to assume you've already seen our week number 2 training that goes through the landing pages in great detail. Okay, so tonight we're going to focus on driving, how to use these to drive traffic to your site. And we'll talk quite a bit about Facebook because that's certainly kind of the King Kong, if you will, of the social media channels, and one that is the most universal. Having just gotten back from Asia, that is definitely one of the channels that is used primarily, I would say, is the number one thing. They use different types of messaging apps, you know, WeChat, WhatsApp, or Line. They don't use things like Twitter and things like we do. But Facebook is fairly universal. So let's talk about ways to use these landing pages. So let me kind of show you some actual examples here. Let me go into, and I'm going to show you examples depending on what background you came from, whether you came from scrapbooking, whether you came from jewelry, whether you came from coffee or whatever. I'm going to show you several different examples that kind of pertains hopefully to as many of those different categories as we can. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do when it comes to landing pages is I'm going to let me just take our jewelry landing page, for example. I'm going to click on it just so that you can be reminded what it looks like. So again, here's our landing page. It's got our bullet points, a quick place where they can enter their information, their name and their email. And then there's a video to watch. This one is about jewelry. So of course it explains what Lisi is and what VersaStyle is. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my back office and I'm just going to right click this link. So I'm going to copy the link. And then if I were to then go and open up my Facebook page, I'll go to my own personal business page that I've got for Lisi Jewelry, which is this. Whoops. Didn't mean to zoom in there. Sorry. Zoom back out there. All right. So what you can do, now just watch how easy this is. All I'm simply doing is right here on my post, I'm just right clicking this. I'm going to paste what I copied, give it a second, and it will automatically put in the thumbnails for that landing page. Okay. As many of you know, once things auto-populate, whether you're putting like a YouTube URL, video or a landing page URL, whatever it may be, once it auto-populates with the image, you can actually delete this. It's no longer needed. So I might simply just erase this and then I might write something, you know, catchy. I don't know. For thousands of years, a necklace has always been a necklace, ... until now. Check this video out or something like that. Okay. And then I can just go ahead and post that. When people click on that, they would then be taken to this page. This is where they're going to enter their information. And now as they do that, their information is automatically uploaded to your back office, into your contact manager. Okay? All right, so I'm not going to go through any other landing pages here. Let me go over Facebook because this is one of the things that, my heavens, you could spend an entire day just, you know, on Facebook, maybe once a week, and just generate new prospects and generate new leads and new engagements. I want you to think of social media not just as a distribution channel. Okay, some people, I think, get that mistaken. They kind of view it like, okay, I have products, I have an opportunity, and so I'm going to use social media just to distribute the information out there and let it go to other people. While it certainly is a distribution channel, think of it more as a platform to engage people. Okay, when you're in the online world, I want you to think of each and every prospect as if they're your next door neighbor. And why is that important? I think if you do that, if you have that mentality, which I do, it certainly helped me in how I approach people and what I say. You know, if you know you live next door to them and you're going to see them, I don't know. I just think you have a different approach. You're more warm, friendly, and maybe not as pushy of a salesman. If you view it as just this random person in the, you know, way out there in the atmosphere, and that you maybe will never see, I don't know. I think sometimes we tend to get a little bit more spammy and a little bit more salesy. And that's a turnoff, especially in the online world. So we really want to engage people. So again, think of it not just as distribution, but a way to actually engage other people. Okay, let's just assume that you are from Heritage Makers. Okay, maybe that's your focus is digital scrapbooking. And if not, that's okay. I want you to think about this just in theory. Okay, so I might go up here and do a search for simply scrapbooking. Okay. And now it's going to pull up groups, it's going to pull up pages, it can pull up discussions, and I can actually decide what I want it to pull up. But if you'll just kind of look up here, you know, I love this. Here's scrapbooking. Here's one page that has got over 1 million likes on it. So if I were to click on that, okay, now I've got access through this to an incredible amount of new people, okay? What I don't want to do is to start a discussion and to be promotional per se, okay? You're going to have a lot more success by engaging people, getting to know people, rather than just, posting things all the time. It's still okay to post your URL. So for example, I showed you that Me Alicia Jewelry one. We've got one for preserving memories. So I'll click on it so you can see what it looks like really quick. So again, it's just kind of a video that talks about digital scrapbooking. So if I were to right click, preserve memories, copy the link, I go back into this. If I were to start a discussion, I might say something along the lines of, hey, I came across this new digital platform that was really intriguing. I would love to see what your thoughts are. So you see, and then I could paste the URL, give it a minute to auto-populate. And by doing that, it doesn't feel, I might still have the same result, but it doesn't feel like I'm necessarily selling something. This is, if they were to click on it, they're going to see that video. It'll give them a 2-minute introduction to digital scrapbooking platform, and you might promote some discussions that way. Okay, so that's just one example. I'm going to go ahead and say that if we didn't even start a discussion that way, you can go through and, whoops, let me close this down. You can simply go through here and just look at existing discussions and existing posts that this page has already done. So check this out. This page, for example, posted, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom that in, posted something, and it had over 5,000, almost 6,000 likes to it, okay? Now, that's at least 6,000 people that to some degree enjoy scrapbooking or enjoyed what this article was about. So I might click see more and see that it's new scrapbooking supplies or whatnot. If I were to click on this area down here where that shows me all the different likes, it's going to pull up, it'll pull up all of them, but it'll just give you them in sections. I could, if I wanted to, I could go through and just add a couple of these people. Again, the important thing in online marketing is that you're targeted, okay? If you're going to represent our scrapbooking line, your job is to, I think, in the online world, to find people who already have an interest in scrapbooking. Yes, you can talk to a random person that's not into it and sell them and maybe convince them, but there's no need to. There's so many groups out there and pages already that are organized into certain categories that if you'll just do stuff like this, you can go through and maybe add a friend or two, or add 5 or 10. You don't want to necessarily go through and add every single one of them. And then start engaging them in discussion. So I might go through and check out some of the comments, okay? So I see this Angela Lewis. She writes, wow, this is something totally different. So refreshing when sometimes a lot of scrapbook products can sort of look the same way these days. So I might go in, I might even as simply as like her comment. So without even commenting anything, just by liking it. Now she's going to be notified that this guy, Dave Nabrodsky, liked her comment. I might reply with a comment. I agree. This was a fantastic video or something like that. I'm just getting my name out there. I'm getting, there's a chance by doing that, people may click on my information. Okay. And I might get to know Angela Lewis over the weeks and over the months ahead. Okay. So again, I could go through this and spend all night long just on this. Okay. You'll see some even posts here from some Youngevity people. It'll typically post to people that you're connected to at the very beginning. So sometimes you want to scroll down for a little bit and then check it out. Make sure that you're not ever promoting things. If you do put one of the URLs, that you're not putting it on someone else's page who's also a promoter, like if they're promoting their own brand. But something like this, a general scrapbooking page or maybe a fashion magazine page, something like that, you could certainly get away with posting things like that. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an idea. Let's just go to a different example. Let's say that you're really into the keto diet, for example. Okay. So kind of the same thing. If that's something that I'm really trying to promote in my Youngevity business, I can scroll through here and see, hey, look at this page has got 14,000 likes. I can join a group. Again, I want to make sure that it's not a particular someone like in direct sales that's selling their own promotional or their own keto diet products. But you'll find a lot of these are very, very general. So again, I could click on this, keto recipes. I can scroll through here. If I were to scroll down here, it's the same concept. I can watch other posts that people have done. I want to look at the comments, look at the likes, and then I can instantly get a list of people who have an interest in, well, obviously if they have an interest in the keto diet recipe, they probably have interest in the keto diet. And so by engaging with them, connecting with them, sending them a friend request, little bit by little bit, day by day, you can start to really build up an incredible online resource for that. Okay? So we've talked a little bit about some of the social media channels. Keep in mind, whether it's a Pinterest group, Twitter, or Facebook, you could simply go in and look up, search certain hashtags, okay? If you are into our weight loss coffee products, you could do a search for that and then have a list of people, of potential prospects that you can engage with. If you're doing jewelry or me, Alicia, you can look up fashion pages or costume jewelry or fashion jewelry, things like that. I've already shared an example of digital scrapbooking. If you're into makeup, there's a ton, millions and millions of these groups that are already created out there that if you will then get targeted with your specific products. And again, we've already created 10 different landing pages for you. So you don't necessarily have to be a scrapbooker. You don't have to be someone that's into coffee or someone that's into mineral makeup. But we at least gave you those marketing materials and those landing pages so that you can take those URLs, post them in social media channels and in groups and things like that. And then as people click on it and engage with you, they can request more information. And now their information, their contact information is uploaded in your back office. And now you're notified in real time when they take activity, when they open up one of your landing pages, when they visit your website. That is a big part of the system. Is if you just send people to your Youngevity website by itself, you have no idea if they even went there. And if they did go there, what did they click on? What were they interested in? What do they care about? Well, this system, once they go to a landing page and they're redirected to the website, it's to our GPS website, the marketing site, they can browse around. And that will be recorded in real time, everything they do, the videos they click on. It'll even tell you how much of the video they watched. You know, did they watch 100% of the video? Did they watch 2% of the video? Well, why does that matter? Well, of course, now you can let the system filter your leads. Instead of calling 1,000 people, you can market to 1,000 people, and maybe only 20 people clicked on the link. And maybe out of 20 people, only 5 people watched the video to the very end. So now instead of wasting your time calling random cold leads, you can take time with people who are a little bit more warm, people who have taken activity and shown that they actually have some interest and they want to learn more. Okay? And then again, you're notified in real time of what happens with that activity. We've only got about 5 more minutes left. So let me kind of wrap up with a few of, again, easy things to do. But one easy way to engage people is to make sure on your email signature, landing pages on there, instead of just a link to your Youngevity site, put for example, let's see if I can get to the business opportunity page. So this one is Take Control. This is the one that focuses a little more on becoming an entrepreneur. Okay. So, this is a great one because I've had a lot of success with this and also a lot of success with the mineral makeup. Those are probably the two that I use the most and the two that get quite a bit of leads. So because, the mineral makeup, or not the mineral makeup, but the missing minerals is kind of the 90 for life. It's an interview with Doc that is a great introduction to people and really, I think, gives people a lot of curiosity to learn a little bit more. So I might take this URL up here, okay? Your URLs, by the way, would look exactly the same except for this part here. This is my username that I created when I became a subscriber. your username might be Dave or Terry or Jennifer, whatever it is, and that would go here. Other than that, everything else is the same. So on a business card or on your Facebook About Me page, I might right click one of these particular links and post that. And so that way, if people were to go to your Facebook About page, like for example, let me get to my personal Facebook page so you can see kind of where I would post that. So in this About section, all right, this is where you can put a link. So you can put, something here. You can, edit these and then add one or two of your favorite landing page links for people to visit. Okay. All right. And then your e-signature is another very, very simple way here as we're wrapping up. Make sure, as you know, we're all sending out emails each and every day, and you just want to make sure that you are putting on the very bottom of there. You can, everyone typically has an email. Maybe some people just put their name and their phone number, but add a link or two, right? Maybe not everybody clicks on it, but your chances of them visiting your website dramatically increase, obviously, if you've got a link there. Don't post 10 of the URLs, right? That's just too much. But you might post one or two there, and you'll find I get, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 at least every month of people that are new leads to me that came just from my email signature. Okay? All right, so let's wrap up here. We're close to our 30 minutes. So we've talked about using social media channels, primarily Facebook, but you could certainly find groups and engage with people on YouTube, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, SlideShare, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is, your social media channel of preference. But definitely would encourage you to first start with Facebook because the groups are organized so well and into very targeted niches, if you will, that you can then take particular targeted ads directly to them. Okay, you would never want to go to a jewelry group and start posting things about coffee, or a coffee group and start posting things about jewelry necessarily, right? You're going to get blocked, and you want to make sure that you're very, very targeted, okay? So we've talked about social media channels. We've talked about simple ways like through putting your landing pages, the URLs on business cards and also e-signatures. Let me wrap up with blogs, some of the external traffic sources. So some of you have a blog. A blog is a fantastic way to drive leads. It's better than just a static website. So think of your Youngevity site like the username. In fact, I'll go up here. My username is hooked on. Whoops. It would happen if I spell that right. Hooked on. And then, .youngevity.com. So think of this as kind of a little bit more of a static website, meaning that it's not changing that often. The words on it are pretty much the same. And so because of that, you can't really personalize it. And it's really hard for people to find you when they do a Google search because all of our websites look exactly the same. A blog, however, is free, very simple to set up. There's templates, and you can set one up in a matter of 30 minutes, totally free, like if you go to blogger.com. And it's a great way to have the appearance of a website, but be able to post things, even if you only posted like once a month, a paragraph or two about an update, a particular product that we're unveiling, or even just sharing about your journey as an entrepreneur and success that you're having and things that you're learning along the way. People can then find you through that. So I find blogging is a fabulous way to drive leads to your system. Again, most of us will use our landing pages, okay, the 10 that we created, and that's what we're driving traffic to, okay? But tonight I just shared ideas and ways that you can find the leads in the first place. How do you find people? How do you engage with them? So let me kind of wrap up with our do's and don'ts. Don't sell, okay? That's the last thing you want to do in the online world is just be this pitchy person that's always pitching something. You want to offer value. What things can you post? What things can you comment on that would add value? Maybe educate them on something, whether it's Dr. Wallach's video, this missing minerals one. It's a great one to copy and paste. If you were to go into the Facebook and do a search for like supplements or, holistic medicine, things like that, and then enter a discussion. Take this URL and copy and paste it and say, hey, I came across this really interesting interview with a guy named Dr. Wallach who talked about how nutrition is not equal. And I would love to know your thoughts. So you simply post those words along with, you copy and paste this URL and then engage people that way. This is a great video that'll walk them through this interview. And people that want to learn more can simply scroll to the bottom, enter their information, their name and their email. And then again, that contact and that information is then given to you in your back office. Okay? All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will have our week 4 training next week is going to be on our actual marketing website that you get once you're a subscriber.
You'll also get access to several helpful and trackable forms like the health survey form. With this system, it allows your customers to self-assess their symptoms, then informs them of possible nutritional deficiencies. It recommends what products to start with based on those deficiencies. Those products are then explained to them in a corporately approved video. Then they're redirected to your store where they can add it to their cart with ease. A copy of the health survey answers and recommended products are then emailed to you and digitally stored in your back office. Now, how nice is that?
So when you enroll, you will instantly get your own marketing website that we've created for you. And we're going to talk more specifically about how it tracks activity and the key part of it, the health assessment survey that we've used Dr. Wallach's logic. So that way, if you were brand new to Youngevity and had no idea about anything with supplements or any health background whatsoever, you could simply have access to this survey that you could send any prospects to, family, friends, people that you haven't even met yet. And they could take this online survey that basically just walks them through and they puts rates like on a scale from 1 to 5 their symptoms in certain categories. And then based on their answers, we've taken Dr. Wallach's logic, and then it will actually recommend what product or products they should start off with Youngevity. We give them a corporate approved video, and it's directly linked to your Youngevity store if they wanted to shop and buy any particular product. So we're going to go into that in much more detail about this health assessment survey that you get and your replicated website. And that's where it really starts getting fun, because you might drive traffic to a landing page about jewelry or about coffee or about David Allen Capital or whatever it may be. But once they're there, now they have the opportunity to have access to the website. And as they browse around and shop different things, you are notified and it keeps track of that. So they might have gone to your website being through like jewelry, something that you promoted or posted about jewelry. But once they're there, they might browse around and they might come across something about 90 for life. They might come across some weight loss coffee. They might come across, something about mineral makeup. And as they do that, the system is going to track for you and tell you what tabs they click on. So before you've even had a conversation with them and reached out to them, you already know what they're interested in. How powerful is that, right? Awesome stuff. So that'll be our discussion next week. Thanks again for joining, everyone, and have a great night.